Today's episode is about the success of Oracle. They reported earnings last week and they blew out the expectations of Wall Street, and also why the positive news for Oracle is very good news for AMD investors. I will go through how they collaborate and also show you later on a video from the CEO of Lisa Su talking about why this is good news for AMD and the path going forward. So hopefully this will be a very interesting video for you. Okay, so what we need to understand here is that Oracle's mega success is also amazing news for AMD. And what success? Oracle's success? Well, basically the last quarter, their remaining performance obligations jumped 359% to $455 billion, and that is a lot of money for any company, especially for a company that was valued as Oracle was. And this basically means that they had an increase in actual signed contracts. And the deal includes cloud AI infrastructure, large language model training, and AI-ready superclusters, to name a few. And also Oracle's OCI growth, their cloud infrastructure. The forecast there was up 77%, to $444 billion coming 4 years. So that was also a huge increase that took Wall Street by surprise. Also, the AI expansion here and the story about AI as a whole means that in Oracle's case, they will need tens of thousands of high performance GPUs. Very good news for AMD and NVIDIA. And the quarter showed us the companies are embedding AI in mission critical workloads, ERP automations, cloud analytics, and large language models training, etc., for customer support and research. And Oracle's clouds forecast also mean that Oracle now has a repeatable revenue engine going forward, and also they will have a repeatable demand for newer and better GPUs going forward. Good news for companies like AMD, for example, because for AMD, Oracle is one of their absolutely most important customers, and they have had a relationship with Oracle since for at least 2016. And yeah, more focus on the AMD and Oracle collaboration. So not just that since 2016 they have worked very closely. Obviously, Oracle has a lot of CPUs from AMD. As you might know, AMD are market leaders in the CPU market, the computer units processors. But now the new story for AMD is the GPU market, the graphic unit processors, and this is also somewhere a place where they are collaborating a lot. Oracle, with their OCI, announced it would add AMD Instinct's MI300X to the company's accelerated computing instances for AI, and this was back in 2023 or 2024, I think. So this is a part of the Oracle success story now, that they have basically integrated AMD successfully, and they want to increase the collaboration with AMD and their GPUs products going forward. So the vice president of mission critical database products of Oracle basically said that AMD has been a terrific partner with us. They are a key to our great partnership is to working together with deep technology to level and optimize the AMD chips, especially for Oracle's database and workloads. Also, jumping to news in the early summer 2025, Oracle and AMD collaborate on breakthrough performance for large-scale AI and agentic workloads. And this is the AMD Instinct MI355X GPUs. This is the hottest GPU from AMD this summer, shipping right now around the world. And one of the companies that has bought the most of them is basically Oracle. So Oracle has already bought, I think, ordered like 30,000 of them. And here the news are saying that in the contract, Oracle will offer SATA scale AI clusters accelerated by the latest AMD Instinct processors, and this can go up to 131,000 MI355X GPUs. And this news was before we had these amazing quarterly results from Oracle, and this is why I think as an AMD investors that the quarterly results from Oracle was really, really good news for AMD, because this can mean that orders from Oracle to AMD will just increase over time, because Oracle gets more comfortable with the cash flow going into the company, and with more ordering to them, they will need more raw data power, and they will need more GPUs. To support customers that are running the most demanding AI workloads in the cloud, Oracle are dedicated to providing the broadest AI infrastructure offerings, and basically they're using AMD's products to reach this. This is to handle more complex data sets, customer needs, AI compute solutions that are specifically designed for large scale AI training. And this is why 2025 and going forward, it's the close collaborations between big companies and the developers of GPUs that are most important things. And this is something but I think when I'm listening to the CEO of AMD, Lisa Su, that they are working very hard with, working close to the companies and adapting the products to what the companies needs and developing the type of chips that the market demands. So AMD has been better throughout the years to have products that really fit the market and the demand at the moment. And obviously, the Zetascale OCI supercluster with AMD Instinct's MI355X GPUs meets this need with high throughput, ultra low latency, and RDMA cluster network architecture. And yeah, this will nearly triple the compute power and 50% increase in high bandwidth memory than previous generations. So very good for both AMD and Oracle, obviously. And yeah, lastly, the latest generation of AMD Instinct GPUs and Pollara NICs on OCI, the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, will help support the new use cases in inference, fine-tuning, training, etc. going forward. Also, a little bit about the AMD 355X. This is a GPU that delivers a 4x generation-on-generation AI compute increase and a 35x generational leap in inferencing. And this is basically paving the way for transformative AI solutions. And also, this is generating up to 4% more tokens per dollar compared to competing solutions. And that is a key for AMD. They need a great product, and the offering needs to be a lot better than the customers. Than the competitors like NVIDIA, if the customers are going to change partner to AMD. And this just shows that AMD are meaning business with what they do. And it also, the success story of Oracle also shows you that AMD really has competitive products that works in a modern environment. Also, AMD has unveiled the new 2030 goal to deliver 20x increase in rack scale energy efficiency, and they want to enable a typical AI model that today requires more than 275 racks to be trained in fewer than one fully utilized rack by 2030, using 95% less electricity. So this is the roadmap going forward for AMD. They want to being able to not get stuck in the bottleneck of that is not enough energy around. So they want to help the companies with compute and still being able to do that without having to, for example, build new energy solutions that are quite slow to build up, for example, nuclear power, etc. Also, the collaborations between Oracle and AMD shows that the potential AI rays are getting more affordable for small businesses because AMD obviously do great products quite cheap, and this will let them harness the AI capabilities without incurring excessive costs. And Oracle has also a lot of small businesses as partners, and these collaborations with the MI355X and Oracle Cloud represent a significant step forward in the AI landscape for small businesses as companies strive to stay competitive, leveraging such technologies. And this hopefully can lead to better decision making and innovation. Lastly, how does AMD's GPU revenue works? This is important if you are an investor. You need to know when they account for the revenue, when does the revenue hit the income statement, and also the net income, because this is the type of numbers that Wall Street are reacting to in the earnings presentations, etc. So first, companies like NVIDIA and AMD struck deals, and they get orders on, can you produce this many GPUs, for example, and I want this type of GPUs delivered about this time. And then they obviously, through collaborations with semiconductor companies like TSCM, they start to produce the chips. They have then ready chips, and it's basically first when the ready GPUs has been shipped to Oracle, and or Oracle in this case physically can have the GPUs in their hands, that the revenue can be accounted for in the income statement for AMD. So this probably means that it's quite easy for companies like Nvidia and AMD to know what their future revenue numbers will be. And this is something I have realized, listened to a lot of earnings call from these companies, that they often hit the numbers equally or higher in the earnings report, and that is because this is how their business models works. They know the orders, the pipeline, and when the GPUs, etc., will be delivered. So some other type of companies can be a bit more up and down in their execution based on contracts, other type of contracts, etc. And basically, what Lisa Su said was 8.4 to $9 billion the next quarter, I think. And now, then I know that how GPU revenue works. Probably I will be more comfortable that it will be closer to $9 billion in revenue than 8.4, because AMD are often lowballing their revenue numbers just so they can have an earnings beat, and that is basically how these type of companies want to work with earnings calls. And long term, it's better for companies to often surprise in earnings call. That is what statistics shows. So they often like to lowball and surprise on the upside, and I think that might happen again. And through knowing this, I can be quite at ease. So that's a good thing to know. And well, the demand obviously for AI is so high that the AWS, the Amazon Cloud, the Microsoft Cloud, Azure, and the Google Cloud is so many customers that obviously they can't keep up and get them all. So Oracle can grow a lot at the side of the big companies and take market share. So that's also an impressive thing to do. But now we're going to listen to a very interesting interview with Lisa Su that will prove me right with what I said here in this presentation. Okay, so now you will see Fox News interviewing Lisa Su, and I will react to the video and we will walk through the most important here. And it's quite close to what I just talked about.
Fox Business Alert, Oracle shares exploding to a record high at this hour. Now, while off the session peak of $345 a share, right now it's still at about $330, a gain of 36%. Here's what really thrills investors. The database and cloud software firm announced it expects booked revenue at its cloud infrastructure business to exceed $500 billion. And breaking in the last hour, OpenAI has signed one of the biggest contracts in history. The AI leader will purchase $300 billion in cloud computing power from Oracle. AMD, the company whose chips...
That's very good. Also, I didn't talk about that, but Oracle having OpenAI signing that $300 billion computing deal are really, really good news for Oracle, obviously, but also for AMD providing the products to Oracle. So, wow.
Oracle can't seem to get enough of, has had quite the year so far itself, up about 31%.
She just said AMD seems to be the type of GPUs that Oracle can't seem to have enough of. Great.
The S&P and the NASDAQ. Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive is AMD Chair and CEO Lisa Su. Lisa, great to have you on. Thanks so much for joining us. What should Oracle's, $500 billion in order backlog tell investors and the business world about where we are in the AI story? Well, first of all, Liz, it's great to be here with you this afternoon. Look, AI is in incredible time right now. I'd like to say it's the most transformational technology that we've seen in our lifetime, and we're really at the very early stages of it. So, huge congratulations to our friends at Oracle. I mean, I think they're a fantastic company, and to see the types of numbers that they're talking about. But it really is what we're seeing on a daily basis when we're talking to customers about all of the AI use cases.
AMD are seeing this at a daily basis. So even though this is a huge surprise for Wall Street, this is not a huge surprise for Lisa Su, and this means also that AMD and the type of revenue they will have for selling GPUs later on might not be a surprise for Lisa Su and AMD, but it will be a surprise for Wall Street. And if it's a surprise for Wall Street, it will be a surprise for the stock price.
That are out there, whether you're talking about training the largest language models or you're talking about inference and helping all of our businesses and research and medicine. There's so much demand out there, and we are very much part of the entire infrastructure around that. So it's great to see that some of that momentum is now showing through in very large order patterns. Well, let me just get back to what Oracle says about AMD chips. They really like your chips because they do something like 2x when it comes to power, price, etc. I don't know the exact way to describe it. You probably would. But they say that you guys outpace rivals in that regard. That's a story that I feel like hasn't really gotten out there. Can you kind of drill down a bit on that and what it is that the Oracles of the world and anybody else says, you know what, I'll go with AMD over, who knows, NVIDIA, Broadcom, whoever? Well, first of all, we love the partnership with Oracle. The data center business, providing the highest performing chips for the cloud manufacturers as they are powering all these workloads is what we do every single day. And our job is just to push the bleeding edge of technology. So, Oracle, we've had a partnership for many, many years, really over the last 7, 8, 9 years. We've been steadily increasing our work with them. We're all over their CPU infrastructure, which is super critical. And then on this AI, they've been the first to adopt many of our chips. We're very, very excited with what we're doing together.
Did you heard? She said that AMD is all over their CPU infrastructure, and that was I told you earlier about is two type of chips here: the CPUs that AMD are market leaders in, not really as flashy business as the GPUs, but still it's a lot of cash flow to AMD. And obviously, the AI she's talking about is the GPUs that are ramping.
I think it's just an example of how deep partnerships are so important. I mean, when we talk to all of these, AI, cloud leaders, it's really about, how can we make 1+1 greater than 3? And it's how we take our technology plus their infrastructure, really trying to get this in the hands of those who need as much AI computing power as possible. So this is a great example. I mean, we've grown a ton in our data center business. It's more than half of our business today. And the key is we want to provide tremendous value, but also a long-term roadmap that allows you to think out, 3 to 5 years to build the best of what you need for data center infrastructure. Well, this news about OpenAI striking the $300 billion purchase of compute power and the cloud infrastructure products that Oracle has is definitely a fascinating headline, especially considering that recently Sam Altman was heard saying that AI is in a little bit of maybe a short-term bubble. What adjective would you use to describe the demand you are seeing for your chips right now? I would say, Liz, there's a lot of conversation about what's happening this quarter, next quarter. Mm-hmm. I think we have to look over the long term, and I think that's what you've seen from some of the recent market projections. I mean, we've said over the
And that is what I'm telling you as investors, not just in AMD or any other chip company. Just watch long term, see where the company is heading long term. And that is the easiest way to invest. And that is also how the best companies are operating their businesses. It can't be chasing numbers every quarter. They need to have the roadmap, and they need to put the dollars in development and have a product ready, not just the next quarter, but like for 10 years. That is the type of long-term play I like to do in the stock market, and that is the only way I know how to beat Wall Street, because short term is so hard to beat Wall Street with all the instruments and knowledge they have.
Last few months, we've actually said, we believe that the AI infrastructure for silicon, which is, our chips, will be over 500 billion over the next couple of years. And that's just an amazingly large number if you think about the growth rates there. And what that means is that, people just need more compute. Like, compute is now the way we unlock intelligence for businesses. And from that standpoint, everybody wants more compute. We want to invest more. So I don't think there's anything that we would say is a bubble. I would actually say we see accelerating demand for AI, and this is an opportunity for partnership, which is so critical because there's no one company that can do it all. Actually, what we find, especially with partners like Oracle, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, it's really how we work together and really come up with the best solution for our joint customers. Okay, so you don't see an AI bubble, you see accelerating demand. I think that's an important headline here. And to that point, what's the demand for your products?
Okay, so that was some of the things I wanted to focus on